Hi, I'm Wendy Yi, and this is a rapid fire roundup. This is where I briefly and quickly review a bunch of games. So let's go ahead and get started and see what I think about them. All right, so sometimes I like to go low to high, sometimes I mix it up and we just do whatever. Today I think I'm gonna go low scores to high scores, so let's just start with the garbage. The first one is Godzilla Total War. This was a terrible game that someone lured me into at the Dice Tower retreat, and it was awful. I gave it a 2. It is basically like mean Uno. So you are playing cards, but you have to play a number higher than a previous card that was played, and you go in clockwise order until someone reverses it, and then bam, suddenly you have to have this higher card that you don't have because you just barely survived last time. And then there's these special ability cards where you basically say like, nope, I send it to you. Nope, you send it to me. And you just play till someone runs out of enough good cards, and then you get damage points for killing someone because you happen to be the last person to forward it. Like if you're like the last person to successfully play a card. Anyways, it's a weird, like Uno meets King of Tokyo meets Chaos. So terrible game. Don't recommend it. Next up on my list is a game by one of my favorite designers, and this is Wrath of Fire Mountain. So I am giving this a 6 because, it's okay. I went into knowing that I wouldn't love it. So it's also by Eric Lang, and I don't love Eric Lang games. I don't know any that I actually really enjoy when I think about it. So I didn't expect this to be amazing. I expected to think that it's fine. And you know what? I do. I think that it's fine. So that's what a 6 means to me. As for the actual game, I think that it is very lucky. It is very tactical. It's got, the area control element plus the little sliding tiles, which honestly, I think the sliding tiles is cool. It's a very cool way to like slide puzzle your way into area majority. But the actual like area control part of it, or just the dice part of it, is annoying because it's up to so much luck, especially because if you're the person that is last to put a meeple out on the volcano, the last to sacrifice yourself to the volcano gods, you get to make the final movement. And that final movement really, really affects who gets points and how many points. And so I think there's a lot of power behind that, and that does just feel completely random and lucky. So you just kind of do the best you can, and then whatever the dice come out, they come out. So I think it's supposed to be a fun, light game. My daughter enjoyed it. My husband enjoyed it. I think everyone enjoyed it. And I just was like, okay, that was fine. It was what I expected. So there you go. Wrath of Fire Mountain. That's a 6. Oh, I forgot to mention, I like the dinosaurs. They're very cute. Always get a dinosaur if you have the chance to get a dinosaur. That's all I'm saying. Dinosaurs are awesome. Okay, next up on my list is Voidfall. And honestly, this is just a first impressions. This isn't even like a real deep review because I only played it once because I'm not willing to do that kind of setup again. So I had a friend at the cruise, actually. It's been a long time. Why have I not reviewed this yet? But I had a friend, taught me the game, set it up, did the whole shebang. It was long. It was great. I enjoyed a lot about it. Except the setup. Oh my goodness. And the relearn, like it would be so much to pull that back out, to have to go through everything. Oh, what a hassle. Which is sad because I really enjoyed it. I thought that the engine building on your board was fascinating. I was okay with the way that the map kind of battle-y stuff was going on. I was okay with that because it was Euro enough for me. And like I said, the engine building and the deciding what we were going to invest in and the different strategies, I thought was so cool. So this game is so cool, but also I'm never pulling it out again. And so it's a 6.5 for me because it's literally never coming out again, which is sad. But there you go. That's Voidfall. I wish it was easier and better to set up because it's beautiful and it's a fabulous game. All right, Fairy. This is a little box card game, very small, and it is about trying to capture fairies. And this game is so dumb and yet oddly fun. Like, I don't know why I keep enjoying this and why I keep introducing it to groups, other than it's just like really easy to teach and it's really dumb fun. So in the game, you are keeping track of your score on a little card. So it's literally where your thumb is on your card. You just move it to keep track of points. And then you decide, do you think that the next card that comes out is going to be higher than the last card, lower than the last card, the same color as the last card, or do you think it's going to be a fairy? There's only 3 fairies in the whole deck. But if you capture a fairy, you get like 7 points. So it's pretty sweet. It's literally just guessing what the next card is. And I mean, you know what the layout is of the deck, all that kind of stuff, but it's just completely random. It's like once you're going for fairies, you're just going to keep going in a hole, losing points little by little until you capture that fairy and then hope that it was worth it, basically. But yeah, it's dumb fun. I like that the negatives that happen for guessing wrong is just losing 1 point. So you have the potential of gaining so much more and just a small little like negative. And there really is just those funny moments where you're like, just randomly, I'm gonna guess fairy, and it's gonna be a fairy, and then, you know, I just like it. And you have those games where someone is like way ahead in points, and the rest of us are like -3, and then sometimes you're the only one at -3, and everybody else has a ton of points, and you're just like, please, just 2 fairies in a row, and then I will win. Like I'll be close to winning. So it's a fun game, and very quick and simple. And what did I say I was giving it? I don't think I said yet. I'm giving it a 7.5. All right, well, talking about little all-play card games, the other one that I have on my list to talk about is Panda. Super cute. Very, very cute. I love pandas. They're adorable. There's something about black and white animals, I guess, because I really like penguins too. This is not about penguins. This is about pandas. And in this game, you are trying to make certain combinations of cards. And the funny thing is that you have to have exactly just those cards in hand. So you may need just a B and a D card in your hand, or someone may be trying to get A, B, C, D, E, F. The thing is that you have to start discarding down if you want to get down to just those 2 cards. And that can be mighty difficult because people can mess you up. If you play an A card, you have to, everyone has to switch a card. They have to like give it to the next player. And so you get a random card and it can totally mess up your whole system. And that is what I think is clever about this game, is that the ones that seem really easy aren't necessarily really easy. And you strategically are trying to find those moments to interact to make someone shift while still getting your hand to be just right and not mess yourself up. Because if you play an A and you don't have anything to give away, you also still have to give something away. So I think it's very clever. So this one I'm going to give an 8. I think it's fun. I think it's cute. And I love that it's just this quick, simple card game. All right, let's talk Creature Caravan. So this is by Ryan Laukat. This is a simultaneous action game, and it is an engine builder. So it's all about making yourself stronger and stronger and better and better and better to hopefully get the most points, right? One thing that I really like about this is that even though it's simultaneous action, and you are in many ways doing just kind of multiplayer solitaire stuff, there still is interaction going on in the game. So there's this like tick down timer kind of thing. So when I go fight something or I go to the market at a certain level, I basically have triggered the timer on that. So there's only a couple more rounds that people have to complete that specific objective at that level until it's just not available anymore. And I think that that's a cool way to create that interaction, but still keep the game zippy and, you know, simultaneous. And so there's not all that downtime. The other thing I like about it is that there's a lot of strategies you can lean into. You can go heavy market, you can go heavy fighting, you can go heavy cards. They all just kind of synergize and work together, and you can do a little bit of everything, a lot of something. And so I think that just there's a lot of cool stuff going on. So this is an 8.5 for me. I think it's tons of fun. Not a super fast play, but you just always feel like you're engaged because it's always your turn. So there you go, Creature Caravan, 8.5. Let's talk Path of Civilization. This is an older game that I've recently played, actually. And it visually gives me Seven Wonders vibes because you're like, the military is red, the blah, blah, blah is green, the commerce is yellow. So I'm getting like Seven Wonders vibes from it in this Civilization game. And I think that it is very clever and I very much enjoyed it. The card play is fascinating, that as you're building up the engine of your cards, you're trying to decide, do I want to use them for the cube side of things, the making the action stronger? Do I want to move up on tracks? Tracks are amazing. I love tracks, but also I love actions. And then every one of the little colors feels like a little mini game. You know, you're like, the fighting is its own little mini game. The figuring out who gets to pick cards is its own little mini game. And you can't do all the mini games, right? You only have so much time and so much ability to win some of them. And so it's deciding how you're going to win those mini games. But then the colors that you gain and the resources that you gain, those kind of things allow you to buy new upgraded cards that help different mini games. So you're just constantly kind of moving around, kind of getting a feel of what are the best mini games to play and how do I upgrade my cards? And I just think it's a lot of fun. So there you go. 8.5 for me, Path to Civilization. Super, super fun. All right, my last game is an expansion to a game that I already love and adore, and I think that the expansion just adds wonderfulness to it. So this is the Coral Reefs expansion to Aquatica. It adds the cute little coral reefs, like the actual physical coral reefs are beautiful on the board. One thing that I really appreciate is that they make it more beneficial to get character cards, because that's one thing that I tend to not do when I play Aquatica, is I tend to not build up a big hand, because then I'm like, oh, I just have a huge hand of cards, but that doesn't make each turn necessarily stronger. And so adding in the little bonuses at the bottom for buying those cards, I think is really cool. Also the way that the coral reefs sit out on your board, they're just little extra points here and there. And also some of the scouting cards, like scouting changes a little bit. I think that there's some cool things that this does. I don't think it's an absolutely necessary expansion. In fact, the only thing that I think is necessary is to play with the new objectives for any Aquatica expansions, honestly. Just getting those new objectives, because it extends the game a little bit. But I think that this one's great, and I love it, and I would play with it probably every time if I had my choice. Yeah, it's just really good. I think it adds a cuteness effect, and it's beautiful. So there you go. I'm giving a 9 to Aquatica Coral Reef because it just fits perfectly with the game. Well, there you go. That was my rapid fire roundup. Most of the games were good, so that's always a positive when I get to play lots of good games instead of all the garbage. So thanks for joining me today. I'm Wendy Yi, and tell me about all the cool games that you've played recently.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, if you would love to game with us at one of our conventions, check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.